Hello, my loves. It is Bex, and I thought that we would color this a little bit more, see how much more of her hair we can get done, maybe all of it, huh? It is 1 p.m. on Tuesday the 28th, and the colors we are using are the same as before. The last video. That's not it. I might have tossed it. Oh wait, no, here it is. Yeah, right there. I was testing my my new markers that are glittery. These. So anyway, it is Crimson Lake 925, Poppy Red 922, Orange 918, Sunburst Yellow 917, Canary Yellow 916. And that's a bummer that I did it on that page because now I gotta write it out again for this video. Oh well, that's okay. Such is life. It happens. Anyway, how you doing? You doing alright? Having a good day? I hope so. I'm just sharpening some pencils. I have done a few things today. I struggled to get to sleep last night. I made I'm coloring another picture that's actually quite cute. It's a bunch of birds stealing some bread from a bear. Yeah, it's a very cute picture. So I was coloring that last night around midnight, and finally got back to sleep around 1:30, 2 o'clock, and I slept so good. And I woke up ready to go, full of energy, yada yada. So I had another weekend where honestly I intentionally didn't steam mop the floors because I was just in a state of like I need some me time. So I took some me time instead of having some chore time. So I needed to do that, so I got that done. And I did the dishes, and I worked on my diamond art, and yeah, just a fun day. Having a fun day. I like steam mopping my floors because my steam mop is hot pink. It's very cool. So easy to make me happy. Basically, as long as it's pink, I'm happy. Same for my my dishes and stuff. Like I had the worst time trying to get myself to cook, right? And so everything that I have is pink and purple for the kitchen. So except for my one, like the big skillet fry pan, like that had to be red because the choices were red or black. Like I couldn't find one that was pink or purple. So is what it is, but it's cute with the pink. The red looks pretty cute. And yeah, I'm just kind of rambling. I didn't really think too much into this video. I just wanted to color, so here I am. Here I am. And Bear with me here a minute. I need to turn the volume down on my phone because I'm going to go look for a video that I saved because I was like, oh, this is a really good topic. But let's see if I can find it now, because do you ever send things to yourself that you like and then you can't find I can't find it again ever? Oh, this one says HCC, so let's oh, well, this is a good one. This isn't the one I was looking for.
Tomorrow, so here are 3 tricks. You can always
we'll
yourself tomorrow, so here are 3 tricks to stay today. Number 1, stop trying for self-love. Try for self-tolerance instead. When we are in that mindset of wanting to exit Earth stage left, the concept of self-love is way too big. We need little tiny baby steps that are actually attainable. Self-tolerance is the goal. So that brings me to number 2. Rather than using positive affirmations, try neutral affirmations. Rather than, I love you so much, you're so wonderful, which your brain is not going to believe right now. You can look in the mirror and be like, I'm not going to hurt you today. And like toss some finger guns if you want. Only finger guns though. That brings me to number 3. Rather than trying to force your on-fire brain to grasp concepts like gratitude for being alive and all the beauty in the world and how other people have it so much worse, whatever, really zoom in on a tiny little baby detail. Here's a tiny little baby detail. Oh my gosh, it gives me life every day. You find something that is uniquely specific to you and is your little baby reason to stay today. So there you go. I told you what to stop. Stop trying to force yourself to love yourself. It's not going to happen today. I told you what you can do instead of positive affirmations. You can look in the mirror and try some neutral affirmations, things that you actually believe in order to rebuild trust with yourself. And number 3, find something that is unique and specific to you that you can hyper-focus on of like, I'm going to stay today because peanut butter exists. You know? All right. Go out there. Stay alive one more day. Oh, and
so yeah. There's that. So I guess we're talking about positive self-talk today. But yeah, she's accurate. Like, I couldn't do that. Like, you look in a mirror and be like, I love you. Like, okay, whatever. You know, like I'm a very honest person to start with. Like, I don't lie to people. Like, I don't say I love you unless I really mean it. And you know, a lot of times it's one of those things where I'd look in a mirror and be like, I'm not gonna lie to myself. Like, why would I lie to myself if I won't lie to anybody else? Like, you know? So it was just really challenging. Like, I actually ended up, like, telling myself, like, I don't hate you. Like, you know, like maybe we should get to know each other better. Or, you know, things that were true, that were kind. You know, like she said, I'm not gonna hurt you today, but I said stuff like, you have thick hair, and that's really cool. You know, at the time that I had thick hair. But you know, like I didn't really put much thought into it, but the whole important thing is self-realization, self-actualization, you know. So if you can just start, you know, like this, you know, like coloring or anything, like you suck at it when you first start, right? And then you get better and you get better and you get better. Or me, you just kind of get to a certain point and you're like, that's pretty good. Because I'm only really doing it because I enjoy doing it, not because I'm trying to be the best colorist out there. And it you got to start somewhere. These videos, like if you've watched since the beginning, you know, like when I first started, I was stuttering so bad. I was all awkward. I mean, I still stutter, but that's just how I talk. Like I don't process things well, and trying to get, you know, my words out of my mouth, or to redirect my brain every time it goes in left field while I'm trying to talk. Like, you know, it's plus trying to actually focus on doing something and talking. Like, it's a lot. But when I first started, it was really, really bad, and I didn't know what to talk about, so I was all over the place, and I wasn't planned, and my camera angle sucked to the point that I actually deleted the videos because it was just not, the content was awful, and, you know, and there's still a lot of improvement to go. There's still always room for improvement, right? But you just have to start somewhere to get somewhere. And from video number 1 to this video, like, I feel like we're doing a whole lot better. You know, we're actually motivating. Even sometimes when you watch shows like that, first couple of episodes feel like awkward and not together, and then you watch a few more, and the cast like starts to mesh and get chemistry and understand their character and all of that, and the show improves, right? Sometimes it can take a whole season for that to happen. That's the same when you're talking to yourself. You've got to start somewhere. So just look in a mirror and tell yourself something that you believe, that's not horrible about yourself. It doesn't even have to be positive. It can be neutral. You know? Just easy peasy, simple things. And I say easy peasy, but I mean whatever comes to mind. Like, don't make it complicated. But it is a difficult thing to do. Facing yourself is never easy, and to stand in a mirror, oh god. When I first started doing this, I had such low self-esteem, and I hated myself so much. I didn't even look in mirrors. Like, I brushed my hair and hoped for the best, kind of thing. Like, if I looked in a mirror, it was literally like 2 seconds. I wouldn't sit and look in a mirror. And now, now I look in mirrors all the time, like everywhere. Like, I've even got a mirror sitting in my living room. I've got a mirror attached to my keychain. Like, it's a really cute one too. It's chromy. And when you flip the back over, the back, it's plush. And on the back of our head is a mirror. It's very cute. I got it from Hot Topic. But, the more I looked at myself, the more I got used to seeing myself, and, you know, and there's a video, that I posted before, so if you look back, there's also this video, talking about, you know, high five yourself in the mirror. You know, you don't even gotta say something nice to yourself. Like, you have nice hair, you have pretty eyes, you are such an amazing person, I love you. You don't have to say those things even. You just gotta look at yourself and say, I'm gonna do my best to care about you today, because we got this. You know? Something like that. Once you can, you know, start where you're comfortable, and get yourself to a point where, you know, as you do it, you get used to it. Like, I should show you these today. I should make a video and show you these, because I just set up my journals, but one of them is pride. and I make a list. I make a point every day to say at least one thing I'm proud of myself for. And when I first started, it was hard. It was so hard to find something to tell myself, I'm proud of you. You did a good job today on XYZ. But I would always find something. Same for gratitude. It was very hard to be grateful for things when I was in a rut where I felt like my life was shit and nothing was going to get better, and the things that I did have, I didn't care if I had them, like I was so used to being homeless at the time. Even having a home wasn't something I felt grateful for. Like if anything, having a home felt like a trap more than peace. I mean, that's changed, but at the time, I was used to the freedom of just living in my car and doing whatever I wanted, going wherever I wanted, not having to spend money on rent, but I could run to a concert anytime I wanted to. Oh, shoot. I forgot to give you the lyrics for today. They are High Hopes by Panic at the Disco, which is, had to have high hopes for living, shooting for the stars when I couldn't make a killing, didn't have a dime but I always had a vision, always had high hopes. I love that song, and I was kind of singing it today as I was starting this video because, it applies to this so much. Like, yes, I want to grow and have this beautiful community and have us all helping each other and working together in a community to spread positivity and help, not help people with their mental health, but help them along their journey, like if you're if you can't afford mental health, if you can't if you did afford mental health and they kicked you out of it because they felt you were because the wait list is 900 miles long and they felt you were okay enough that they could move on to the next person and left you with no resources, so you end up right back on the wait list. Like, giving you a place to keep your grounding, you know what I mean? Like, that's really important. Like, I think people really need that, and giving each other our unique stories and perspectives, and what we have, and every person has something to bring to the table. They do. And I believe that if we could just come together and make this thing take off. Like, I have the ability. I am very capable of running a community. I've done it many times. I've run 20,000 hits a day website. I've run 18,000 follower Twitter accounts. Like, I know how to run a community. I have done it successfully many times. And but need the audience, not the audience. I hate the word audience. I don't know why I even say it, but need the community. Like, I'm trying, like I started promoting it, and we'll see, but things have changed since I last built a community. I mean, I built my community over my last one on Twitter over a decade ago, and everything has changed. Twitter isn't even Twitter anymore, and I won't even go on it because it's just so toxic. And to me anyway, like it just seems like everybody is very unhappy over there, and so I just won't go there. And I am trying to learn Instagram and Facebook advertising, and not advertising, like, not like the boost and all that, but like what what hashtags do I use? Where can I post? What communities will allow for me to post about my community, and things like that. Like how do I get the word out? And now I have the song "The Bird Is the Word" stuck in my head. Bird, bird, bird is the word. Like, so yeah, this is coming out pretty. I actually started her hair very fiery because I was thinking element. Like initially I was going with the theme of like earth, air, fire, water, and I don't think I'm going to do that. I think what I'm going to do is fire and water, and do like the duality of the fire and water, because together, and how powerful each of those elements are, and which of course relates to her strength, So I'm going to do that. I mean, there'll be a little bit of earth because I'm going to do browns here. But I don't know how to add air into it. Like if she had a little bird, if I was a good artist, I would put a little bird right here for like air. What else are we going to talk about? The video that I had wanted to show you was about being neurodivergent with CPTSD, and how a lot of times, like, because you have been through all of this trauma and you have been through all these things, you're very introspective, you're very much of an observer and a seer. Like you can clock people and you can clock behaviors, and you just act a certain way like that people don't understand. And even neurodivergent people will kind of shy away from you, and so I've definitely learned that. Like, I mean, I've sadly learned that the reality is people really like me from a distance, and when they get to know me, they may like me, but for whatever reason they back away, and I keep being told it's because I'm a mirror, but it's still tough. But the good thing is that because I stand in my truth and have integrity, which is funny, I say that, like, look at the theme for this month. It's integrity. Next month. This month was awareness. But yeah, so I just started thinking about something and forgot everything I was saying. You know what? I'm going to put this on pause because I really want to drink, and I have some iced espresso calling my name, and then I will remember what I was talking about, and somebody is at my door, and so we will be right back. Alright, I am back. So yeah, I think what I was saying was that I've learned that people like me more at a distance than as a close buddy. And so I've kind of just kept myself at that space. Like, okay, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing, And if you want to be in my life, you can come into my life. I will allow you into my life. But I'm not going to seek you out. You know, I'm not going to go try to make friends. And that seems to work very well for me, because I tend to draw better. I mean, definitely comes down to using your discernment, because people who seek you out, like a lot of times, like I have had narcissistic situations where a narcissist has seeked me out. Like they have, you know, done their damnedest to get me to let them in, and usually do, and it's a mistake. So I also look for people who meet a certain criteria, and I'm not going to obviously tell you that because I'm not going to broadcast it to the internet, but I definitely look for a certain type of person. And I will say that it has been my experience. No, I'm not even going to say that. I'm not even going to say that, because I really don't want to say anything that might come back to haunt me. So I just appreciate where I'm at right now, and I don't even know how I got started talking about this, but yeah, so that's all I gotta say, apparently, because I can't remember what I was talking about to begin with. But yeah, now we figure out something else to talk about. Yeah. You know what, let me pause this, because I do have another video, I think, that we can watch, so bear with me just a second. Alright, I am back, and I have a couple videos for you, actually, so let's do that. So here, they're both from the same person, Chelsea Colageo, maybe? Colageo. Here's the first one.
Common responses to complex trauma, and there are actually a lot of different ways it can show up if you have CPTSD.
I don't think
Right.
Number one, dissociation is one of the most common responses to complex trauma, and there are actually a lot of different ways it can show up if you have CPTSD. Number one, depersonalization, feeling detached from yourself, like you're observing your body or thoughts from the outside. Two, derealization, feeling disconnected from your surroundings, like the world is unreal, foggy, or dreamlike. Three, dissociative amnesia, gaps in memory, especially around stressful or traumatic experiences. 4, identity disturbance, a fragmented or unstable sense of self, feeling like different versions of you exist in different situations. 5, emotional numbing, reduced ability to feel emotions, feeling flat, empty, or shut down. 6, absorption, becoming so mentally immersed in something that you lose awareness of your surroundings. Dissociation is one of the most common responses to complex trauma, and there are actually
So there's one, and well, let's talk about this one first, and then we'll go on to the other one. So it really is hard, because you have, you know, all of these things going on inside of you, you know, like memory losses, and, you know, feeling like the world isn't real sometimes, like, you know, like just like not real as in like the Truman Show, you know what I mean? Like you're just playing a part, and like everybody is in on it but you, kind of thing. And you know, all kinds of stuff like that. And it's just really hard. And because of that, like, not only do you have this like beautiful insight, which is like a gift and a curse, you also have all of this other stuff going on, and it's very hard for people to understand you. You know, you're just different, and when you're different in that kind of a sense, it's very difficult for people to want to give you a chance. And then add in the fact that usually, generally speaking, by about the age that I am, people have already formed their friend groups, and they're very, you know, they've got their families, they've got their friend groups. They aren't looking to include anybody else. And so if you're, you know, this enigma, like what is this? You know, they're not going to bring anything into their lives that bring a sense of confusion. And I think that that's going back to what I was saying before. Like, that's a really good way to put it. Like, if somebody brings confusion into my life, I tend to avoid them. You know, and so I understand when people meet me that I'm different. And you know, people don't want to take the time to try to figure me out and figure out if I have pure intentions or if I'm as genuine as I claim to be, or, you know, and fair enough. I actually also operate by a belief that if somebody says, you can trust me, that that's probably the last person you should trust. Because a lot of times that has been true in my life. And actions over words, my friends. Actions over words. But yeah. So that was that video. And then this other video I just found very interesting. So
Society often rewards exactly the opposite of what we need to do to heal CPTSD. So society says be productive, we should be trying to rest without guilt. Society says be easygoing, we should be trying to have boundaries. Society says don't be too emotional, we're trying to feel our emotions. Society says be likable, we're trying to be more authentic. Society says don't need anyone. Healing says let yourself be supported. Society says move on quickly. Healing says process what happened slowly. Society often rewards exactly the opposite of what we need to do to heal CPTSD. So society says be productive, we should be trying to rest without guilt. Society says be easygoing, we should be trying to have boundaries. Society says don't be...
So yeah, that kind of started repeating. But this is another reason why I feel like people kind of step back from me, because I am listening to what I need to do to heal and stay in my healing and in my growth, and you know, keep where I'm at and continue to move it up. And people, first of all, I think a lot of people, and I don't mean this in a mean way, I just, you know, I think a lot of people look at me and they see me putting in the work, and a lot of people don't want to do the work. A lot of people want, like, the surface me, who is healed and fun and, you know, helpful and kind, and, you know, they don't want the piece of me that's messy and healing and trying and working and grinding, because it becomes a mirror for them. Like, oh, this is what you do so that you can be that. Like, I don't want to do that. And even if you're not pushing it on them, like, you know, it's still there. It's still like an elephant in the room. Like, and it's what I talk about. Like, it's what I'm passionate about. I spend all of my time focusing my energy on myself and getting myself to a beautiful place. Like, that's the goal. And, you know, I am in a place now where I can see beauty and you know, I have a place to live that's comfortable and you know, filled with gratitude and contentment. And I want to keep pushing that. Like, what's next, you know? I don't get somewhere and say, all right, this is good. I get somewhere and I say, all right, maybe I'll take a break, but then what's next? Raise the bar, you know? And I don't think that people like that about me, unfortunately, which is really sad, because people didn't like the unhealed version of me, and now people find a reason to not like the healed version of me, or the healing version of me. And I'm just like, can't win, man. But it's good in a way, because it's taught me, like, not to be a people pleaser, because I can't, like, if I stay unhealed, I'm pleasing a group, and then another group hates me because they don't want to put up with it. And if I heal or healing, they don't like it, because then they realize that I'm putting in the work that they're not willing to do, and whatnot. So, some people do. Some people think I'm amazing, and I have amazing friends in my life, and then I have people who find me intimidating, and people who find me, find jealousy for me and want to try to steal my energy, like, I just find all kinds of people, and I have learned to just take a step back, realize that's where other people are at. That's not where I'm at. And I don't have to take it on personally. I don't have to make it part of my identity just because it's a part of someone else's belief system or whatever. So, and going against the grain is really, really hard, because when you are trying to heal, you literally have to go against society. You have to go against what everybody else is doing, and of course that invites a certain type of adversity. So I really just have gotten to a point where I'm like, I'm just gonna do me, and if you like it, welcome aboard the Hot Mess Express. Like, enjoy your ride. But if not, I'm fine. Like, we're cool. I'm still gonna be good to you, but you don't have to be you don't have to be my bestie. If the parts of me that you like are the ones that are healed without the parts that are a little messy, or the parts that are very dedicated to self-care, then that's okay. You don't have to. I don't mind. If people don't want to be in my life, that's okay. People do want to be in my life, that's okay too. But it does, CPTSD along with being neurodivergent is so difficult. And the worst part about it is, like, going back to that video about disassociation, like, CPTSD can mimic neurodivergence so well that a lot of times people will call it neurodivergence. So that makes it even more of a challenge, because for me, I've had autistic traits and ADHD traits my entire life, but I didn't even come across this knowledge until after I had been diagnosed bipolar and CPTSD, and they were throwing BPD at me, like maybe that was part of it, and all kinds of stuff, and ended up getting a lot of those diagnoses reversed once they realized, oh, she's neurodivergent. Like, I'm not bipolar. I know why I'm having my outbursts. Like, and it's not, you know, not like violent outbursts, like crying, like just all of a sudden crying, like, and not knowing why. Like, that is a neurodivergent thing, my friends. And for me anyway. And I was just overstimulated, and I couldn't tell you what was overstimulating me. So, things like that. So they took away the bipolar diagnosis, and they took away, they stopped talking about BPD. I was never formally diagnosed with that. And finally got seen. Like, once they realized, I'm like, listen, I didn't even know this was a thing until after all these diagnoses. And you guys should have been on it years ago when you were telling me I was a comedian because I couldn't stay on track in therapy. Like, you'd ask me a question and I'd go off in left field telling you a funny story. Like, but yeah, so I don't know really what else to say about that. Like, other than, like, there's no moral to the story as to why I'm telling you, other than to find a little compassion, I guess. Like, be understanding of people who have gone through trauma, because they don't see the world the way that other people do. They are struggling, especially, like, if someone like me who has gone through literal years of isolation, like being targeted and kept away from the outside world, like, it has very much changed my perspective of the world. Like I color and I journal in, like, paper journals. I'm very, what I would call, analog. I'm not very digital. I definitely used to be. I used to code websites and all kinds of stuff, but I got out of my situations and I was just like, I'm so far behind and I don't want to take the time to learn it again. I'm all set. And so I just resorted back to 1990, like, I use the internet just when I need to, like to stream a movie or to make a video, or, I'll talk to my friends on Facebook, but I don't really do a whole lot with the internet anymore like I used to. I used to live online. And, yeah. So anyway, just be kind, like, try to be understanding. But if it is something that you don't think you can take on in your life peacefully, it is okay to back away. Because I would rather have someone back away from me knowing that they can't handle what I've been through than to try to be my friend and not be able to give what I need. You know what I mean? If we are not compatible, we can be incompatible and still care about each other. You know what I mean? You don't have to hate anyone just because you don't see eye to eye, or you're not compatible. Like, there's all kinds of people in the world, and we're not going to be compatible with everybody. So it's still fine to be kind to those people and to accept them, and anywho, we finished her hair. Huzzah. And we are at 44 minutes. So I think we're gonna end this one for right now. Let's see. Ooh, the stars on the bottom. Hope, inspiration, serenity, and faith. And the Wheel of Fortune when I cut the deck. Cycles change, fate, destiny, divine timing, luck. Ooh, the Chariot. That means it's coming in hot. I hope so. I would love if this page just took off overnight one day and I came to look to see, and there was just all these positive. The star again. The star again. Like, that's really cool. That's really cool. I love it. Alright. Let's see if we can pull the star too. I've done that before. Like, but it was with the Empress. We got recovery, hope, healing, new beginnings, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And then did I pick it up this way, or I'm going to do it the positive way. I might have picked it up wrong, but ambition, determination, action, decisiveness, assertiveness. That feels like in alignment with what we were talking about. Celebration, harmony, homecoming, community, stability, community. Hi. All right, one more card. Balance it out, make it a nice even number. I think that's my autism too. I like even numbers. That one almost came out. I just wanted to see what that was, but it was it hadn't come out, so it almost came out, so I wanted to see what it was. Alright, cards. Alright. Oh my goodness. And of course 2 came out. Like they're teasing us. So you got the King of Pentacles, wealth, leadership, stability, generosity, and security. And then we got the Ace of Pentacles, which is new beginnings, material prosperity, abundance, manifestation, and opportunity. I still want to go for more to make it 6. Oh, there we go, there we go. So, nostalgia, childhood, innocence, and generosity. So, it was actually kind of sideways. So, to be honest, it's kind of like that and that, which is emotional baggage. Yeah, they called me. They called me out. So, alright, we're going to end this. And I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for being here. I really appreciate you as a person, and I appreciate that you're here. Genuinely. I really do. And I hope amazing things happen for you today, and you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care.